Hi, in this video we're going to talk about the six trigonometric functions and how it relates to special right triangles. So we have six trigonometric functions. There's sine, cosine, tangent, cotangent, secant, and cosecant. And in the right triangle we define them as follows. I'm sure at this point you know about sine, cosine, and tangent from your geometry classes. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so this over this. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, this over this. Tangent x is going to be opposite over adjacent, this over this. Cotangent is adjacent over opposites, so it's the reciprocal. Secant is the hypotenuse over adjacent, secant x, and cosecant is the hypotenuse over opposite. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to take a look at the values of all six of them for 45, 45, 90 first. So in the 45, 45, 90, we're going to work with, let's pick this angle as our angle, and let's go ahead and write that. So sine of 45 degrees is going to be opposite over adjacent. Opposite over hypotenuse, so it's a divided by a square root of 2, which if you rationalize is a square root of 2 over a, which is going to be, 2, which is going to be square root of 2 over 2. Cosine 45 degrees is going to be cosine adjacent over hypotenuse, so it's a divided by a square root of 2, which gives you the same exact value. Right? And for tangent, 45 degrees is going to be opposite over adjacent, which is a divided by a, which is 1. For cotangent, 45 degrees is going to be adjacent over opposite, which is a over a also, which is 1. For secant of 45 degree angle, secant is hypotenuse over adjacent, so hypotenuse is a divided by the square root of 2 over adjacent, which is a is cancelled, you have square root of 2. And for cosecant, 45 degrees is going to be hypotenuse over the opposite, which is also a, and a is cancelled, and you get square root of 2. So these are the values. And the angle, if the angle is 45 degrees, it is equivalent to pi over 4 radians. So all the same things are going to be valid if you're going to use 5 pi over 4 radians instead of 45 degrees. Okay. And let's take a look at 30, 60, and 80. One challenge here is we're going to have two different angles, and obviously we're going to have to have 12 values, 6 for 30 degrees and 6 for 60 degrees. So we'll start with 30. So sine 30 degrees is going to be, so for this angle, it's opposite, which is x, divided by the hypotenuse. So it's x divided by 2x, which is 1/2. Cosine 30 degrees is going to be adjacent over the hypotenuse. So it's going to be x square root of 3 divided by 2x, which is square root of 3 over 2. For tangent, 30 degrees, tangent is opposite over adjacent, so it's x divided by x square root of 3, which is going to give you square root of 3 over 3. Cotangent 30 degrees is going to be adjacent over opposite, so x square root of 3 divided by x, which is going to be square root of 3. For secant 30 degrees, secant is hypotenuse over adjacent, so it's going to be 2x divided by x square root of 3. When you simplify and rationalize, it's going to be 2 square root of 3 over 3. And for cosecant 30 degrees is going to be hypotenuse over opposite. So hypotenuse over opposite, so it's going to be 2x divided by x, which is going to give us 2. So now the 60-degree angle. So sine 60 degrees. So for 60 degrees, it's going to be opposite over adjacent. So it's going to be x square root of 3. I'm sorry, opposite over the hypotenuse. Opposite over hypotenuse for sine. 2x, which is going to be square root of 3 over 2. For cosine, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so it's x divided by 2x, which is 1/2. Tangent 60 degrees is going to be opposite over adjacent, so x square root of 3 over x, which is square root of 3. Cotangent 60 degrees is going to be adjacent over opposite, so x divided by x square root of 3, which is going to be simplified and rationalized square root of 3 over 3. Secant 30 degrees, I'm sorry, we're doing 60 degrees, looked at the wrong number. Secant 60 degrees is going to be hypotenuse over adjacent, so hypotenuse over adjacent, so it's going to be 2x divided by x, which is 2. And cosecant 60 degrees is going to be hypotenuse over opposite, so it's 2x divided by x over square root of 3, which is going to give us 2 square root of 3 over 3. You should probably notice that the angles, like for sine 30 degrees is 1/2, which is exactly the same value as cosine 60 degrees. And for cosine 30 degrees, you're getting the same value as for sine 60 degrees. That's not a coincidence. This is actually how it's going to work, and you're going to learn about that later. Take a look at tangent. Tangent 30 square root of 3 over 3. Cotangent 60 square root of 3 over 3. The same thing for cotangent 30 and tangent 60. And the same thing goes with secant 30, cosecant 60, and cosecant 30 and secant 60. Okay? There's actually a reason for that. So the measure of 30 degrees is equivalent to pi over 6 radians, and the measure of 60 degrees is equivalent to pi over 3 radians. Okay? And that's how it is.